Hey everyone. Okay, I am going, as you can see, I'm on a different stream, go live stream. I am going to try my very best to teach, and I hope that everyone can see what I'm doing. I might have to pull you guys down a little bit. My purple rain shirt. I hope everybody can see. Alright, guys. I hope you can see the yarn. Let me see what. Maybe the green. Maybe we'll do the green. Find my end here. Um, okay, we'll do it this way. Alright, obviously you need yarn, whatever color you want. It's kind of hard to see in this one too. Let me try to find a better color yarn. I don't need very much. We're not going to do maybe the orange. Let's try the orange. Alright, what you are going to need. Obviously yarn. A hook that fits the size of the yarn. Look for, like I showed you the other day, just about every yarn is wrapped in this. And what you want to do, you want to go, you want to look right here. It's going to show you the size hook you need. Okay, yarn, hook, and you will need a pair of scissors, um, maybe um, these are what I call sewing needles to weave in your ends. I think that's it. Well, we're not going to go through all this today. I'm just going to show you the basic, simple crochet stitch. Now, everybody is different, how they feel the most comfortable uh, doing this part. I'm I wrap it around. I use these two fingers, wrap it around. This is your hanging tail, what I call it. And what you want to do is grab it. I don't know if you can, I hope you can see. I'm so sorry. Wrap it around. What I do is this part right here, wrapped around my fingers, stick your hook in there, grab the tail, pull it through, and tighten it a little bit, not much. And what I do, I take my pinky, pull it through, pull it on top of my pinky. All right. And I feel more comfortable with these middle finger thumb. Grab a hold of the knot. You see the knot right there? I don't think you can you? Right here. All right. And this right here, this right here, this is your tension. You do not want that too tight and you don't want it too loose. If it's too tight, you're not going to be able to get your hook through the stitches, the chains. If it's too loose, your work is going to end up looking messy, and you don't want that either. All right, we're going to start what's called the chain. Um, you can basically do how many chains you want. Let's say if you do 20 chains, 30 chains, 100 chains. After you get that many chains, you want to add one more chain to that. So I'm just going to demonstrate here. I'm not going to make mine very long. All right, here we go. Okay, this is wrap around the hook, pull that through that first chain. This, what we just did is considered one, and then two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I think that's all I'm going to do. Now I got my 25 you can do as many as you want. If you're going to make a scarf, if you're going to make a blanket, whatever project you have in mind. However, like I said, however many chains you want, I did 25, and now I'm going to add one more, which gives me a total of 26, obviously. Okay, now what you want to do, the loop that's around my hook, that does not count as anything. So we're going to single stitch. Okay, so you're going to ignore that, and then, I don't know if you can see it. This is one. You want to go through the second chain. I know I'm having a hard time with this camera. 1, 2. You're going to stick your hook in there. What I'm doing now is called wrap around. You're going to have 2 loops. 1, 2. Wrap around. Pull your hook through both stitches, loops. And you're going to do this all the way down the chain. Push your hook through, wrap around your hook, the yarn around your hook. You're going to have 2 loops, 1, 2. Wrap around, pull through both loops. I hope you guys can see. I'm so sorry if you can't. I know my fingers are in the way. I need to get me another camera. Okay, we're going to keep doing this all the way around. Push your hook through, wrap around your hook, 2 loops on your hook, wrap around, pull through both loops. We'll just keep doing this until we get to the very end. This is the same, repeating over and over, the same thing. Pull through both loops, hook through the stitch. I forgot to tell you, I'm sorry. I only go, for as long as I've been crocheting, some people like to go through both loops. I don't. I go through the very top loop. Okay, I don't know if you can see this any better. I know my fingers are in the way. All the way. We're going to keep repeating the same process to the very end. This is very simple, guys. There's all kinds of YouTube, and that's exactly how I learned. YouTube videos. You want to learn how to crochet? I suggest, like I'm trying to do here, and I'm sure you guys are probably having a difficult time seeing what I'm doing. All the way down. Once you get the single stitch mastered, it really does get easier after that. You'll have double crochet down in no time. There's also all kinds of videos, probably better ones that I'm doing right now because I can't seem to keep my fingers out of the way. All right, let's do that one again. Okay. And make sure you don't, like I said, make sure you don't pull your stitches too tight because you'll never get your hook through it, through any of the stitches. Believe me, when I first, I'm like, why isn't my hook going through? Once we get to the end, which we're very close there now. Okay, I am now at my very last stitch. Go ahead, put a single crochet in there. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to chain one. Some people, you can chain two if you want, it's up to you. I normally only chain one when I'm doing a single. Once you got your chain one, you're going to turn your work, and this is what we have. This is what yours should look like. Whoops. Okay. Now let me get some more yarn here. Okay. All right, I'm going to try to explain this the best that I can. You see, remember, the loop on your hook doesn't count as anything. What you want to do, you might have to pull it apart a little bit. This right here is considered your first stitch. Right here, it's right next to the hook. You might, like I said, you might have to separate it to see that little hole. You want to put your hook right into that opening. Pull through your yarn, wrap around, pull through both stitches. What size hook? I am using, well, it depends on what type of yarn you're using. Like I said, let me show you again. It depends on what type of yarn you're using. I am using, I'll tell you the name. It's 100% acrylic yarn. It's Mainstays. I don't know if you guys can see that. It depends on the type of yarn you're using. If you're using Red Heart, any type of cotton, just this label right here, turn it to where, look, let me find it here. You want to look, depending on what size it is, and it will always show you on here. If it's a 4, let me see, what is this? Medium 4, and it calls for the size hook 5mm. Just look on your label right here, and it'll tell you what size of hook that you need. I know I'm not the best at doing this. This is my very first time teaching any type of crocheting. Okay, where we're at. Let me see. Beginning, what size hook? I'm the only one to be had in this town. Earthling. That is a good size. Yes, it's one of my favorite sizes, actually. Now, when you're doing your chain, when you first do your foundation chain, um, I would suggest going up no more than up a size hook, and then go back to to the size that it calls for. Because like I said, if you get your stitches too tight, you're never going to be able to get your hook in there. So make sure your stitches are just slightly big enough, to be able to get your hook in there. All right, guys, and this is literally what we're going to be doing. If you're making a scarf, if you're making a blanket, a shawl, whatever. Thank God. I love, some people like more than one repeat, like you do like a row of a single, then a row of maybe front post. I know that's, I'm not even, I might try to teach you that, but this is what's called a repeat row. You're literally going to be repeating this stitch, this single stitch, until your blanket, your project, whatever you're making is done. You're just going to keep single crocheting. All right, here's my next stitch. You're literally going to be repeating the single stitch all the way down to the very end. You're going to go ahead and put a single stitch into this very last stitch. You're going to chain one, you're going to turn your work, and then you're going to keep repeating over and over until it's as big as you want. Of course, mine is just a sample to be able to teach you. I know, I'm so sorry, guys. I know you probably are having a hard time seeing. My fingers keep getting in the way. I'm really going to look into a camera that I can like put behind me, and hopefully you guys will be able to see better, because if you want me to teach you after this, I'll pick another date. I can teach you how to double crochet. Once you get the single mastered, which it's so easy to learn. You're literally going to keep repeating this over and over. I'll show you another row just to make sure you guys are getting it, because it took me a few tries. And another thing, make sure you're paying attention to your stitches. If you, like I said, if you have to, let me pull my loopy up here and I'll show you. If you're not sure where your stitches go, follow the line all the way down. And if you have to, okay, you see how I've already got this stitch filled with my single. If you have to separate, I don't know if you can see that, you're going to see a little hole, and that's what you're wanting. A little spacey hole. And that's exactly where you put your hook through. Let me see if I can show you what I'm doing here. You have to separate it to get to that hole. You'll be able to see it. Don't do it on the bottom. You're going to see a hole on top, a hole on the bottom. You want the one on top always. And then, I don't know if you can see that, where my hook's sticking in. And then you just pull your yarn through. Whoops, turn it around. You always want to look for 2 loops on your hook. You should always, when you stick your hook through that little space hole and you pull your yarn through, you always want 2 loops. And then you're going to wrap around and you're going to pull through both loops. It's so easy to learn. Let me see here. Got things popping up on my computer left and right. You might want to sit behind the camera to make it easier to see. I know, Green Jar, I'm so sorry. I I know you guys are probably having a really difficult time seeing it. My camera is literally uh, on my computer and it's right in front of me. And I know that's probably making it actually a lot more difficult. You know, when I hope I can get, I'm determined to get another camera to keep it behind me, because you guys will probably be able to see me a lot better. Let me see if I can show you. See that space? Let me see, right here. Let's put this there. This is the big space that's already got the single crochet. You want to go to the next space, the stitch right beside it. Stick your hook in, pull through, yarn over, pull through two, both loops. All right, we're going to work our way all the way down. And then this is literally, like I said, you're going to be repeating this over and over. And I know this is very difficult to see my stitches. Okay. You're not going to be doing anything different. Nothing. You're, like I said, you're literally going to be repeating the same thing over and over. Okay, I'm at my very last stitch. Let me see if I can try to separate this. You see that space? You're always going to want to, on the very top space, go through both loops, chain one, turn your work. It's normally like this when you're working down. Once you chain one, you're going to flip it over, turn it. And then make sure you go through that very first space, stitch right beside your hook. And that's it, guys. It's that easy. And if you need to, you can always pause, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Pause, rewind, pause. That's exactly what I did. When I first started learning, pause and the rewind button was my best friend. And this is what you should look like. Right here. And you're going to, like I said, keep repeating this over and over and over. One single crochet in each stitch all the way down to the very end. That very last stitch, single crochet, chain one, turn your work. Repeat over and over and over. And this is what you should look like. Okay, and like I said, if you that pause, rewind. I'm so sorry that I know you're probably having a very difficult time seeing my stitches. Once I get a camera behind me, we will do I'll do my best to teach it. It's another easy stitch. Double crochet, very easy. To take my Steve, Potty won't go me. Bye, Earthling. Oh, thanks, Earthling. Yes, this camera, when it's in front of you and you're trying to teach how to crochet, single stitch crochet, that camera and being in front of you, it makes it a lot more difficult to see. Oh, I'm probably going to start pricing cameras, or have one of my sons like stand right behind me. I'm sure that'll make them happy. All right, guys, I think I'm going to go. Remember, you can always pause this and rewind. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing. My fingers, I know, we're getting in the way. So I will, I do plan on doing this again. Uh, moving on up to the double crochet. Try to show you the best that I can. I'm not I am not a professional by any means, but I do know how to do crocheting, and hopefully I can teach whoever might want to learn. So I will let everybody know. My head's halfway cut off, isn't it? I'll let you all know when I plan doing this again with the double crochet. Everybody have a great day.